Hello everybody. I may do a cold start on the truck here. I wanted to show you guys these rears. They are a set of 3:31 ratio. And they are for a 12-bolt car, passenger car. And they are what I'm going to trade for a set of 433s. Anyway, that guy was moving, or the fuck that was that shot up the road there. Anyway, the way you can tell you got a match set, I'll show you here. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. There's a factory mark on there. It's a General Motors factory mark right there. Because these are machined for each other. They have to have this factory mark. So there's that one. And I'll show it to you on the pinion. There it is. Factory mark. And on the pinion, it tells you the teeth. It tells you 13 and 40. What is that? 43? Yeah. So it's 13 on here. And 43 teeth on here. You divide those and it gives you the ratio. So, that's how you tell that you have a matched set of these gears. Now, usually other companies, you'll just order them and they'll come as a set, like from Richmond or Motive Gear, one of those places. That's how you'll tell they're machined for each other, because you can't mix and match shit like this. They got to be made together, because they're precision for each other. If you don't, they might not howl at first. They might work excellent at first, but as you wear them down, running them, it'll start to howl. It'll have this woo 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 woo. That's what it'll sound. It'll sound like the Enterprise on the original Star Trek. You know, when they're cranking that son of a bitch up into warp drive, that's your fucking car or truck will sound like. Now these are car because you got the great big fucking thick pinion, and they have that big hole in the housing that they go through. So there's down here, you see more factory markings. But yeah, then, whatever. Here's some factory shit right here. And they put them together. They have a Loctite they put on them. Because when you take them out, you take gears out of a rear end that ain't never been out before. Yeah, you better prepare yourself for some fucking prying. Because you are going to have some fucking prying to do. It's like when I set up the rears in the old 78 GMC I used to have, I was setting the 409s up front. It had 342s in the front from the factory. I had one hell of a time getting them out. I had to take a fucking pry bar in there and pry on them sons of bitches and hit them with a hammer to get it out of there. They had fit it so tight in there. So it's like, they wanted to make sure their shit didn't come out. So that stuff all, galled itself in there over the years. And it came out. It was actually the easiest to set up amongst the two. I mean, that thing just slid together so nice. I shimmed it. And I didn't use a dowel indicator because you're supposed to use that type of shit, I guess. I've never used anything like that. I really don't know what is exactly involved there, but I'm going to learn. So I get this knowledge under my belt. Then when the older generation starts to pass away or they can't do it no more, I'll have this knowledge under my belt and I'm going to know what the fuck to do. Because these people aren't going to live forever to help me out with this stuff. One day the advice for me is going to be gone. So I'm going to learn as much as I can off my elders, my dad, Uncle Big Block, all these other guys that are older than me and have more automotive knowledge than I do. I'm going to learn as much shit off of them as I can while they're still around and while they're all in their right minds. Because, you know, sometimes people inevitably get things wrong with them, like Alzheimer's and dementia, stuff like that. So, you know, not everybody gets that. I mean, I got brain fog all the time because I think, well, your thyroid plays a part in that too. That is giving me a lot of brain fog. I was actually at the doctor today and they took blood. Of course, they had to stick me twice. Stuck me in this arm once. Couldn't get nothing. So they found it in this one. They got me here. Got me all bruised up there. So yeah, they got it out of me that time. They're like, oh, it's hard to get blood out of you. I have deep veins. I have thick skin, and I'm a redhead. So it hurt worse them prying around on my left arm than what it did the right. The right, they hit it right on right now. The left, they was digging around in there. I was like, whoa. I said, you need to fucking stop. I said, you need to go with the other fucking arm. I said, move your little tray around the other side of the fucking chair, because you're not going to sit here and dig that son of a bitch around in my arm, because it's going to start pissing me off. So she never got the blood out of the other arm. So, of course, you know, every time you turn around, your fucking regular doctor's leaving. I hadn't been in there for years, and my fucking doctor left. Of course, they all go when they want more money. They all, here we go. When they get a hankering for more fucking money, they tend to take off and leave their old nest and go to bigger places, better places, whatever. The one doctor, she was up there for like a couple of years. I never got to meet her or anything. I was hoping to meet her, as everybody was telling me how good she is. And nope, she left. So I was like, fuck, man, you're shitting me. Oh, yeah, she's going on to better things, to bigger, better things. I was like, yeah, okay. All right. I'm trying to pack this pinion and stuff up in here without fucking shit up. Here we go. This in here like this, and this like this. Yeah. Something like that. I need to keep this shit packed up. Shit packed. Anyhow. Keep this in a... put these together. So that way, when it's time to take this stuff up there, I know where it is. So, I got some garbage on here. Wasn't as hard to pull up. That's what I thought. So anyway, here's the old what the fuck do I want to call this truck? What was I calling it? The Iron Patriot? Calling it the Patriot wagon. Yeah. Motherfucking Patriot wagon. Yeah. There we go. Still got fuel in there. Of course, it hasn't sat around that long. I'm gonna go ahead and start this whore up. See what we can get her to do here. Get her to fire. Start the steak in here. Put some pleasant smells in the air. See that alternator belt kind of flapping around there. I put new belts on this thing. I think the mechanical fuel pump can keep up with the demand on this engine and this little application it's got. For some reason, I have a high performance fuel pump on it, but it's not carrying it like it should. Especially when it gets hot. It starts heating up, it gets up to operating temperature, and in the summertime it'll fucking, that goddamn filter, it'll be empty. There won't be no fucking gas in that thing at all, and it'll start running weird, like, you know, it's vapor locking. But I've had a couple of issues with it. I'm gonna probably put an electric one on it. Seems like it helps. I mean, the mechanic ones are okay. It ain't no big deal, but I want balls to the wall on this thing. So yeah, we're gonna get her done here sometime. I still need to rebuild the engine yet. I've been telling y'all I'm gonna rebuild this fucking engine for eons. I haven't done it. So everybody, there's the cold starts y'all know and love. It's a little different this time. I don't really care for those valve pans, but if I put taller ones on there, it'll hit the goddamn alternator, and it'll, I'd like the tall valve covers to start with, but it'll hit that alternator, and it'll rub on there. It won't, the alternator won't come over to far enough to catch the belt for the adjustment, because I have plenty of adjustment, as you can see right here. Of course, you know, I didn't run it long enough for the thermostat to open up, but anyhow, yeah, a bunch of shit right here. I just got this covering it up. It's ugly. Anyhow, there's plenty of adjustment here left for this belt. They all stretch over time. But, yeah. That's a Napa Premium belt, if y'all need to know what that is. Napa Premium. And I got nice, deep power steering pulley in there. Belt, I mean. You know. You know it. But anyway, that knocked that stinky smell out of here. It's starting to get cold outside, so I'm getting septic smell in here. So, yeah. But this setup doesn't run bad. It's not terrible, but it's not really quick or fast. 250 horse. It might have 25 more with the cam and intake that it has. I don't know, maybe 50. I don't know, maybe not that much. Maybe like 35, 40 more than what it has. So you're talking 250 and 40 about. That's almost 300 horse, but it's kind of close. It's getting close to that. Plus the headers, the 3-inch tailpipes, the Flowmasters, all that shit. And all the stickers. I never put these stickers on. These were on it when I got the damn thing. There's that manifold right there. The Streets Dominator. The Street Dominator. Muhaha. And the air cleaner's off the parts truck. So's that Holly. That's on it. Anyway. There we go. So, yeah. Everybody. There it is. There it is. So, yeah, this, when the weather and stuff clears up and we get some nicer weather, it's really nice right now, but this is not, it's unpredictable right now. Your weather is shitty. It's unpredictable. It's horrible, terrible. One day it's really nice. Next day it's fucking shit weather. And you know what that brings. So everybody, I think I'm going to join this with another video. Maybe not. I'll just keep this one by itself. I'm going to be posting another electric car fuel discovery video, and that was the other day. That blast, that unloading that stuff out on the angles. I'll show you the angles. You'll see the video when I post it. It has the angles of how we're getting loaded, which is, sphincter tightening, when you're getting loaded and you're sitting sideways in a great big 100-ton fucking monster, and somebody's throwing rocks on your bed. Yeah, it's kind of hairy. So anyway, everybody, that's all I'm going to have for a Thursday evening. I need to go in and plan my fucking grocery order so we can all eat next week, which, is kind of rough with all the inflation and all that shit creeping up on us. It hit me hard all of a sudden because I was doing okay. Now it's just like you're living below the poverty line here. And if we don't get these, I'm urging you, everybody. I know you're probably tired of hearing me saying this. I need everyone to get out there and vote this quack out of office. Everybody will be living so much better if we do. I can't stress it enough. This psychotic jackass, I wouldn't say psychotic, this country ruining dementia dumbass needs voted out. I mean, actually, he needs a firing squad put on him, but he's so fucking old and delusional, and he's got dementia. He's one of them guys. Just think. Learn everything off your elders as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. Especially on trying to, if you know anybody that can self-sustain with no help from the outside world, like grocery stores or governments, or, you can rely on yourself for things, such as, growing your own food, or defending your property, or whatever you got. You need to really learn how to do this stuff, just in case we have some kind of fucking fallout. I know it sounds crazy, but there's always a possibility of horrible shit happening, and then everybody not being prepared for it. And this one thing really, really worries me. I was watching this show on the Food Network. My wife likes this show. It's kind of fucked up, because it has these people on there that can't cook. Has worst cooks in America. These people, I've lost all hope for people that live in the United States. These people don't know how to fucking cook. They don't know how to feed themselves. They don't know how to do anything. I think they might know how to wipe their ass, maybe. I don't know. But I know these are kind of people that wouldn't, they would not be able to dig a hole in the ground and put a bucket over it and sit on it and shit in it and bury their shit back over. They wouldn't be able to do that. Of course, these rich elite assholes, these so-called environmentalists, hear of you shitting in a hole in the ground. Oh my God, you can't do that. You have to flush your shit in a toilet and use a bidet to scrub your ass with after you're done. Ooh. But these people, these motherfuckers don't know how to do anything. I mean, there was like 4 gay guys on there. There was a guy that was a magician. He had no fucking clue how to cook a goddamn thing. I don't even think he knew what a fucking pan was. There was a couple of rich, spoiled girls on there. They had no clue how to even turn a goddamn stove on or anything like that. They didn't know how to read recipes so they could make something. They had no clue what the fuck they were doing. They didn't even know how to cut an onion. They didn't know how to cut anything. They know how to open up cans of things, but they've never actually had to cook anything ever. And they had incomes, or their spouses had enough income to, supply them with enough money so they could all eat out every night. And that, Jesus Christ, eating out right now is fucking insane. You can't go anywhere to a restaurant and eat out cheap anymore. You are further ahead to go buy groceries and cook at your home than what it is to go out to a restaurant and eat there. If I go to McDonald's, just using this for an example, McDonald's food, I don't know if it's every McDonald's or if it's just the one I'm close to. All the food at the McDonald's I'm close to is very, very bland and has been so awful here the last 3 months. I want to say they've been like this for 3 months. Their French fries are soaked with grease. They taste terrible. They're soggy. They're like brown. Their burgers are very bland and tasteless. There's no salt or pepper on them. The sauces that they put on them have no taste. They're greasy. They're like eating through the fucking paper and boxes they come in. The chicken is bland, and it's like full of hard fucking pieces, like gristly chicken. Their chicken nuggets are soggy and spongy and fucking tasteless. It's like they make everything and dip it in grease before they put it in the packaging to send it out to the drive-thru. This stuff is horrendous. I mean, I used to think Burger King was bad. Burger King stuff actually has taste to it still. McDonald's stuff, it tastes like shit. It looks like shit. It even smells like shit. And it's expensive. For example, if me, my wife, my son, and my daughter, we put in an order at McDonald's, we can't get out of that place under $50. My bill for at McDonald's is like $67. 67 fucking dollars. This is a fucking problem, people. This food, I mean, I eat out like maybe twice a week. If that, I'm starting to cut back to once a week. And that's usually on a Friday or Saturday night. And it's so expensive and so disgusting and tasteless. I don't want to eat at those places no more. It tastes so fucking bad. It took the fun out of, you cooked all week. You want a break. You go out and get something that somebody else made, and then you bring it home and eat it, and you enjoy your evening. And all you do is throw the trash away. That's all you do. There's no dishes to do. There's no fucking putting things in the fridge. No leftovers. You're done. You eat. You're watching TV. You throw your garbage away. You relax. That's the end of the week for me. Used to be. Now it's like, I might as well buy something at the fucking grocery store to go cook. Because this stuff, and even at like a restaurant, a regular restaurant like Ruby Tuesday or Applebee's or something like that, the fucking food, it's okay, but it is surpassed your income. The pricing is just fucking batshit fucking insane. And then they sit down there in the White House and they think that everybody's okay, and they lie about inflation. Oh, inflation's come down. Where in the fuck has it came down at, motherfucker? I'd like to know. Because it hasn't come down around here. Now, I notice a huge price difference in the gasoline from right where I'm at here to 20 minutes down the road. 20 minutes east of me, the gasoline prices for some reason are higher than what they are the west of me. When I go to the west, about 10-15 minutes, gasoline is cheap. Well, it's not cheap. It is, let me see. It's 20 cents cheaper to the west of me than what it is to the east. So, I don't know why that is, because usually it's the other way around, and it has been for years, and now for some reason it's way cheaper here. Well, it's like 20 cents cheaper if I run the shorter distance. But things cost more this way. And it's like Sheetz versus Pilot. At Sheetz down there, cigarettes, for example, the Pall Mall white pack that are like menthol cigarette, they're 100s, are $9.40 a pack down there. At the Pilot up here, at the Pilot Travel Center, that's closer to my house, they are almost $12 a pack. They're like $11.87 a pack. So, but you sit and think about it. Is it going to be cheaper for me to run a little further to get a cheaper pack of cigarettes? Or is it going to be cheaper for me to run closer to home and get a more expensive pack of cigarettes? But the way it looks, it kind of equals out with the gas price. So it doesn't really matter where you go get them, because it's going to be similar cost, in gas. Gas is what's going to offset it a little bit. But as far as, the price of things are just craziness. It's out of control. And the reason for that is because we're not relying on our own resources. We are relying on foreign oil. And when you buy foreign oil, you're going to pay. You're going to fucking pay for it. So this jackass down here in the White House, his first order of business was to shut down the construction of the Keystone Pipeline out of Canada, coming down through the U.S. to the Gulf. And the reason for that is because it was going to save money bringing it down through the U.S. for them to ship their oil. Plus we get a tariff off of it to overseas. We are sitting on the biggest supply of oil and natural gas in the world. Our country is sitting on the biggest fucking amounts of oil. We dwarf Saudi Arabia's oil fucking output. But he closed up all the drilling shit. Not all of it. We still have some refineries and drilling sites. Another thing I want to tell people, don't believe these environmentalist fucks, because they're lying to you. They're saying that oil, we have a shortage of oil. We're going to use it up. It's not plentiful. It is plentiful. Now, for example, they have all kinds of oil wells in Texas. Now, one day they dried up. A bunch of them down there dried up. So they capped them, because you have to cap it off in order for it, for because the EPA has rules. So they capped these old wells off. Fucking 10 years later, they go back and they inspect these caps, and they inspect these wells, and they check them. Those wells were clear full of fucking oil again. Explain that to me. What is that? Huh? That tells me that these aren't fossilized plants and animals. That's bullshit. They call it fossil fuel because it's from dead plants and animals. Bullshit. That's horseshit. That's a lie. That oil in the ground is a byproduct of the planet. It'll always be there as long as the earth is here. As long as the earth is alive and well, this stuff will constantly be there for us to use it. All this ecosystem we live in has came together just perfectly. We're in the perfect position in space from the sun. We are in a perfect fucking atmosphere to where we all live. And we thrive and survive off our resources here. All this has come together for one reason, and that's for us to thrive. We're the dominant species on the planet. These things are put in place for us to use. Whether you believe that there's a God or a Jesus or whatever you believe, that doesn't really matter to me. Whatever you want to believe, you can believe. I don't care. But I'm telling you that this stuff has all come together for a purpose. And it's not for us to just turn our backs on it and not use it. Because everything you use comes from this planet. It didn't drop from outer space. It didn't fall in your lap from some alien motherfucker. It came because we mined for it or drilled for it. Everything we use on this fucking planet is made from something that we have put together from minerals and elements of the planet. You can't sit there and tell me that all this stuff's not natural. It's all natural. And it's good for the environment. I can take used oil out of any of my cars, dig a hole out here in the ground and dump it in there and cover it over with dirt. What's going to happen? You want to know? The grass and shit's going to thrive off of it. I don't know why or how, but it does. The only thing that oil is going to kill is if you drink it. It'll kill you. Sure it will. And if you drink gasoline at the pump, it'll kill you. And it has warnings. Don't consume gasoline. It'll kill you. It can be harmful or fatal. Don't induce vomiting. Call Poison Control Center. What for fucking dipshit retard drank fucking gasoline for them to put a warning like that on the fucking pump? I don't get that. Some dumb motherfucker did this. Some moron actually drank gasoline. And I sat around and scratched my head about that when I saw that sign. Because I was reading at Sheets the other day next to the pump. You know, in case of you have a fire, don't stop pumping the gas, run away. Tell the attendant to shut off the gas coming to the pumps. They used to have a fire extinguisher out there, which you don't have them anymore for some reason. I don't know why. All you do is break the glass, pull it out of there, pull the pin, and put it out. That's all you got to do. Christ's sakes. Fuck me. Fuck me fucking dead. But anyhow, I'm just telling you that everything that we use, down to the glasses on my face and the hat on my head, came from this planet in one shape or form or another for us to use. We use this. It's a resource. We use it. And like recycling is bullshit. We're not recycling jack shit, people. There's nothing being recycled. That is another gimmick. That is the plastic bottles and shit. Oh, you got to recycle that. It's going in the ocean anyway. Don't recycle. Don't bother. Just throw it in a goddamn dumpster with your other garbage, because they're not separating it. They're just throwing it in the ocean. And those big bins with all that plastic and shit in them, they're throwing that in the ocean too. They're just dumping it in there. They don't recycle nothing because it's cheaper for them to make new than what it is for them to bring plastic in and break it down and make more bottles out of it. They're not going to do it. Now you have a company that's going around the ocean with these big expensive nets, dragging all this plastic up out of the oceans, which is a good thing. And they're melting this plastic down, making fucking trinkets and sunglasses out of it. Then, you know, those trinkets and sunglasses, they'll just be floating in the ocean then. And they'll do it's a vicious cycle of bullshit. It's just going to keep going. But, you know, but if you ever watch the cartoon movie Disney makes, which I hate Disney, but just listen to the little song they have in the Lion King movie, The Circle of Life. You'll learn something. They had it. They said it back then. When you're born, you eat other animals, you shit them out, you bury them, whatever. When you die, you get buried. After you eat plants and animals, one day you die. They bury you in the dirt. You return to the earth. You grow into something or whatever. And it just starts over again. The cycle, it's a vicious cycle of life and death. It keeps coming over and over and over. And there's people out there that are so stupid and don't understand this, and they're being bamboozled by these rich elite douchebags. Bill Gates, Al Gore, Klaus, fucking Schwab. I used to think his name was Schmidt. It's Schwab. Anyway, he's an evil Jewish guy. He thinks that you need to you need to give up all your belongings, like your car, your house, your land. Don't eat meat, and You're supposed to eat bugs for protein and eat plants. And eat their plant-based meat that Bill Gates' little laboratory is making. And that is the dumbest fucking bunch of shit that I've ever goddamn seen or heard of in my entire fucking life. Is that fucking plant-based fucking meat. Seriously? Fucking shit. And I'm going to tell you all this right now. I'm going to eat as many animals as I can before I die. I'm just going to eat as many cheeseburgers and chickens, and I'm going to eat them all. Hogs, I'm going to eat them. I'm going to just eat that stuff. I'm not eating no fucking vegetables no more. I'm not eating any fucking thing green. Fuck that. Those animals I'm eating ate enough green for me. That is virtually plant-based fucking meat. And that's fucking hogs, chickens, and cows. Sheep, goats. I'll eat them all. I'll eat every fucking one of them. And I will be happy. And these rich elites can kiss my ass. Their reign on the planet's coming to an end. As I'm telling you, they are going to come to an end. And that's going to be it. So, everybody, on that note, I'm going to leave you all. I don't think I left anything out. So, I'm going to return to my living room and watch terrible television. Because it's not going to be anything I want to watch, like, drag racing or any kind of car videos. It's going to be reality show bullshit, probably. So, everybody, like, share, comment, subscribe. See y'all on the next one. Maybe I might have something for you this weekend. Unfortunately, I have to work another motherfucking Saturday again. This is 4 in a row now. So, everybody, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.